know that you can make light magic in Tears of the Kingdom, or that if you put a bright bloom on any Zonai device, it's going to stick there, including your flying devices? There's a lot to learn in Tears of the Kingdom, so I'm here to give you 15 tips I've compiled to help you out no matter where you are in the story. And don't worry, there are no major spoilers in this video. So with that being said, for the first tip, you can actually put a star fragment on any magic rod you find in the game. Star fragments are going to be pretty rare drops that you can only find at night. Make sure you get them before it turns to 5 AM because it will despawn literally right in front of you. It's happened to me so many times. But after you get that situated, simply holding your star fragment, putting it down on the ground, and fusing it to your magic rod is going to create a star rod. Now when you swing your rod, it's going to be shooting 3 beams of light. The beams of light will be equivalent to a large bright bloom seed. Just look at the difference, it's actually pretty bright. So this is going to be very helpful if you want to conserve your bright bloom seeds and you're traversing somewhere that's pretty far in the depths, and it actually goes a pretty long distance and lasts for a decent amount of time. What's also nice is if you haven't been to Terrytown in the Akala region, you can actually go there and you can have fusions be taken off of weapons. So you can always take your star fragment back off whenever your magic rod is about to break. Something that I would recommend to everyone who has access to Zonai devices is to build these 2 flying machines. The first one I'm going to show you is the hovercraft. You'll need to put the fans on each side of the steering stick at a 45-degree angle. You can use a stake if you want to help set you up, or just use any building, any object you can lean the steering wheel on, but it's going to help in the setup a little bit. And what you're going to have in the end result is something that looks like this. It's great because if you hold back, you can actually just ascend and go up, and if you don't hold any direction at all, you lean forward. This is very efficient, and I like this one the most, but the second one is going to be the hover bike. So again, you're only going to need 2 fans and a steering stick for this. For this build though, I would recommend using a stake because it is a bit harder to build compared to the hovercraft. This time the steering wheel is going to be tilted at a 45-degree angle upwards, and you're going to place the 2 fans facing directly down on the front and the back end of the steering wheel, and what you're gonna have at the end is a build that looks something like this. Me personally, I like how the hover bike controls more than the hovercraft, but I do like how the hovercraft makes me go further than the hover bike. So it's really up to preference, but I would recommend you have both of these because they do come in handy in different situations. For the Zonai contraptions you build that involve a steering stick, something that's actually very helpful is you can jump off of the vehicle that you made just by pressing the jump button, and it will turn off the whole Zonai device. This is very helpful if you drive up to an enemy camp and you want to enter bullet time to start picking off the people. You can also do drive-by shootings, that's very viable. This is something I cannot state enough, like please at least just experiment with building. I guarantee you this is easily the most fun part about Tears of the Kingdom. Just figuring out a building that you can make, no YouTube guide, like you doing it on your own volition and figuring something out. But that has been the most fun for me in Tears of the Kingdom. Like I literally made a SpongeBob mech, which you can watch this video right here, but only watch it after you're done watching this one. I need my AVD, please. This is not a joke. But please try making just any weaponry with Zonai devices, just anything. It's extremely fun. So something I learned recently is any light bloom you throw in the underground will stay there like indefinitely. And since there's a lot of Yiga hideouts in the underground, something I like to do is throw light blooms in the front of the house, so that way if I ever come across the same Yiga hideout, I'll know which one I've been to based on if it's marked with a light bloom or not. Obviously, you can put a lot of things onto your weapons and arrows, but 2 things in particular that I don't hear enough about are puff shrooms and muddle buds. Muddle buds, if you didn't know, whenever it hits an enemy, whether you throw it or swing your weapon at someone with it attached or shoot an arrow, it's going to make that enemy confused and hit other enemies in the area for you.
And there comes a giant fish!
So shoot this at the strongest enemy that's in the base camp, and you're literally just gonna have him helping you clear out the whole horde. Or just shoot it at 2 people and watch them fight. I mean, they are not paying Link enough to save Hyrule, so at this point, you might as well shoot it at 2 people, grab the camera, and just have fun. People will tell you otherwise, but the optimal way to play Tears of the Kingdom, surprise, is actually at low health. I know, crazy, far-fetched idea, but if you really look at it, a lot of the time, you're gonna be getting one-tapped. Hey look, it's my theme song. The night weapons when you're on 1 heart will be doubling the damage of the weapon, with no drawback on the actual functionality of the weapon when you're at 1 heart. So say for example, a guy like me with a 79 longsword, all of a sudden that 158 kinda goes crazy when you need the damage. Like, these back shots on this Lionel is going insane. Like bro, I'm giving vicious back shots to this Lionel. Yo. So if you ever want consistent damage, this is something that you can go for. I'm sure a lot of you by now have already experienced a blood moon, but sometimes you don't want the enemies to respawn, and there's actually a way to make sure that doesn't happen. If you go to a shrine right before a blood moon happens and you walk inside, when you walk back out after the time passes at 12 AM, the blood moon actually wouldn't have happened. Alternatively, you can also go to any warp in the depths and it's also going to dodge a blood moon. So you can do this if you didn't complete a farming route of enemies you go to, for example, and the blood moon will guarantee happen the next night. If you haven't noticed, they have these pink cherry blossom trees scattered throughout Hyrule. If you skipped one, it's okay. You can kick yourself in the butt and then come back to watch the video. So if you put a fruit inside of that small offering pedestal, it's actually going to reveal every single cave in that area. And I mean literally every single cave. I did this in the Gerudo Valley and it showed me the area before Gerudo Desert and after the Gerudo Desert. So it's actually really helpful if you're trying to farm up on Booble gems or you just want some more things to explore. Each weapon in this game comes from, you could say, different clans or tribes, kind of like a Kekkei Genkai from Naruto. For example, if you look at the Gerudo Claymore, its special buff is that whatever material you attach to it is going to double the damage of it, but the Gerudo Claymore itself won't have as much durability. Personally, I feel like the best ones are the Gerudo weapons, the Night weapons, and the Royal weapons, because it's going to give you things such as higher attack power during flurry rushes, higher attack damage on your weapons in general, and doing more damage on your 1 HP. Some weapons even slice through the air, and depending on the element, it's gonna change the... It's just so peak, bro. Like, please get one. Between you and me, I feel like the straight sword charge attack is the weakest compared to the long sword and the spears. So thankfully, you can actually do the charge spin quicker, and you do this by rotating your left stick and then you press attack. And if you do it correctly, Link will do a quick spin as opposed to the charge attack, which obviously comes out a lot quicker. But first of all, the enemies go stupid far, and a lot of the times they will also lose their weapon on the weaker enemies such as the Lizalfoses, Bokoblins, the Moblins of the world. They're going to be dropping their weapons a lot of the time, and now it's great because they can't do anything with my straight sword charging to their head. Hi! If you're having trouble doing it, try doing the spin with your left stick and then pressing attack. It's a little weird, like you have to do it preemptively. It's not the most consistent move, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, but when it does work, it do be working though. Thank you so much for watching the video. I have another Tears of the Kingdom video right here for you to watch. Take care, love and light.